if the Shade Tree Commission would be willing to consider some revisions to our ash tree removal and any types of educational efforts that we can get out there, and provided some good material a few days ago that we can start publishing in terms of what people can do. It's not only a right-of-way problem, it's a private problem as well. So a number of those trees that I looked at today were on private property, and they're dead. So yeah, it's significant. It hit us pretty hard. We were managing it fine for a couple years, and then boom, it seems like now it's really starting to get ahead of us.
A lot quicker than I thought this year.
Yeah. So the general rule of thumb that I'm using right now is if it still has some green on it, we're gonna leave that one standing.
Yeah.
And then.
Did you say you're going to do those first?
No, we'll do those ones.
No,
if it still has some green on it, we'll leave it stand.
But isn't it a lot safer to take down a tree that is still alive than a tree that's dead? I know it costs a lot more money to take down a dead tree than a tree that's somewhat alive.
I'd be more worried that a dead tree is so weakened that we want to get those down just as quick, if not quicker.
As a safety.
Yeah. So I can see your point, but yeah, I think that we need to get those down as soon as we can.
Yeah. Well, the priority in the plan was to remove trees that we consider to be dangerous, and therefore that's what we should do. And if there's still life in the tree, then leave it until later. But we need to bear in mind that yes, dead trees can be more expensive to take down.
That's true.
I'm sorry, I missed hearing all of that. You said, have you identified most of the ones in the city now? And
we do have a lot of them identified, if not all. Yeah. I should probably start putting an updated map together showing the ones that we have removed in comparison to the ones that are still out there. A lot of them are so small, though. I mean, a lot of the trees that are in the right-of-way we can cut down with a chainsaw internally, but some of the bigger ones. And we are having AEP do some line clearance effort on the south side this year. They will remove a lot of ash trees for us that are impacting electric lines, so that'll be helpful.
I think I asked this before. Is there any help for citizens who have responsibility for their tree in their yard? Is there help for them at all? Or?
At this point, just educational efforts, letting them know what the dangers are of that tree, and offering them advice on who to have come look at things and remove it. There's no financial assistance that the city can do for privately owned trees at this point.
Yeah, the woman across the street from me bought a house. Nobody told her that the tree was going to die. And she was stuck then with this new house that she just bought and had to pay for having it taken down. It wasn't fair.
Yeah. So that's the bad.
Yeah, but let's not go too far. Go ahead too much. What sort of things are you thinking that we could recommend that are different from what's in the plan?
I don't know. I just thought it would be more productive if we were able to get some opinions from experts like yourselves in terms of how we could manage the program, the removal program, a little bit differently, possibly. We might have the best plan in place.
Yeah, I think the only cheaper way of doing it is to use city workers to take down ones that
and that's certainly
they will
something
be
that we're
capable
going
of
to
doing.
do. Yeah, like for example, the ones at the community center, those are going to come down with our staff because we can do it. They're not.
Are those the ones on the end of the?
There's 14 of them throughout the property. Yeah, but some of those
they're
are
relatively
on the end,
small. And
yeah,
so
they're
should
small.
not
We
be
can take those
put
down
out.
in a day.
there's nothing
Probably get all of
around
them down.
Yeah.
So out of the 300 and some, I believe, that are in the city property, there's 14 right there that are going to go away. So that's something certainly that I'd like to do is utilize our staff where we can.
When you go through, do you analyze them for risk, let's say? That's just a thought to figure out which trees are at the greatest risk of causing harm or property damage.
I don't do a formal assessment, but I do visually check it out and look at hazards in the area, look at the utilities, look at the overhead lines, look at their proximity to homes, people walking, school routes, things like that, yes.
Yeah. So obviously.
But I don't have a form that I'm using.
No, that's okay, but you've thought that through, so So of course, those would make sense to be the first ones
Yes.
to take out.
Absolutely. If it's on a primary walking route to an elementary school, it's gonna go away.
Right. Do you know approximately how many of the 300 or so
No.
meet that criteria? Maybe
No.
half or less, you think?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't have a good answer on that
Yeah.
yet. But it's something that I can start looking at. We do have the GIS map.
Yeah,
of it.
we
right,
have a map of
right,
it all.
yeah.
Um,
So,
we-
anyway, of the trees I looked at today, about 30 of them were ash trees, you know, so, because some of the homes were multiple trees per site, so,
But
tough,
there are multiple, but are there multiple trees in the right-of-way?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there are.
Well, all I can say was this was the plan that your predecessors, or the previous administrations adopted on our recommendation.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll get them down.
Yeah.
We just might have to get creative with the way we're gonna fund
Yeah.
it.
yeah,
Are they marketable, any of the
yeah.
ash trees? None?
There's too much of it available. It's not worth anything, I think, is the answer. I mean, the local contractors are overwhelmed with the number of private requests
Oh,
for,
yeah, if I
for
go
remote
and,
tree
I go and
removals.
ask for, unless it's an absolute hazard, like it's a threat right now, I'm on a 2 to 3 month waiting list with all the tree companies.
Yeah.
So if you call to have a tree removed,
Yeah, that's why I think we're going to have to use city workers, and that's why, you know,
Yeah.
if you need our help in getting the administration to give you that support, then I think
Yeah, I
that's
think-
something something that
I think
we should be willing to do.
smaller trees and trees in parklands are certainly things that
Yeah.
we can use our city staff to do. You asked for a Jackie O's Stimson Avenue plan, landscaping plan. I do have that. I can forward that to you. But the plan is that the trees that were banked by Jackie O's will provide the landscaping part of the landscaping for that project.
Okay.
That makes
So-
sense.
This is the roundabout project?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The string trimming, the girdled tree trunks. I think the best answer to that, David, is that we need to get better at promoting mulching those trees so that we prevent that buffer.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
the
you know,
mulching would help, but I think
Yeah.
training the staff, because
Absolutely.
somebody did a very thorough job of
Yeah,
trimming
absolutely.
around those trees.
They got way too close
Yeah.
and hit those trunks on all those
Yeah.
trees. Yeah, if we get a ring of mulch around all those
Yeah.
earlier in the year before we start
Yeah.
string trimming.
Guys that use Sweetie and should apply the mulch.
Mhm.
Makes a connection there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is we don't have them in place yet.
And that's the first thing.
Yeah. So.
Anne, could you join Ron because we can't pick up your voice otherwise. The Anne that I've just been speaking to is Anne Bonner. She's the ODNR urban forester, and she often comes to our meetings and is a great resource for us in town.
And
So-
the ailanthus on the bike path,
Yes.
we'll have that removed.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's flowering again.
Yeah.
There's two of them, and they've got red marks on.
Yeah, thanks for the picture.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. And it's close to that milepost. I forget which one it is now, but it's going east. I think it's 1 mile from the community centre, so it's probably the first milepost going east. They're very close to.
And the last thing that I had is we have a really exciting opportunity coming up. July 13th and 14th is our America in Bloom judging, and this is a program the mayor picked up at the Municipal League of Cities national conference last year. So we joined. So there are 2 judges coming in to the city on July 13th and 14th, and they're going to look at everything in the city to see how the city feels. It's not just planting. They're going to look at history. They're going to look at cleanliness, like litter and sustainability. They're going to look at the So what I talked to the people that are coming to judge, and their guidance to me is that I do not want to tackle this alone because it'll be overwhelming. Seek volunteers that are experts in their different areas. So of course the tree canopy. I thought that we might be able to get together and be able to have some of you talk to the judges about our tree canopy and show them some of the more remarkable sites that we have around the city. And we'll try to get someone like from Project Plant to do landscaping areas. We'll get someone from the Historic Society to do some historical things. Like I know they'll want to see the ridges and some other buildings in the city in terms of how its appearance is and how it makes the community feel. And basically, when it's all said and done, they give you a score, and this score is published throughout the United States. And one of the biggest groups that pulls data from it are realtors. So from a property value perspective, looking how this program impacts property value is really interesting, I think. So there's eyes on this program. So what I got to do before they get here is I need to develop a community profile, and I need to develop a tour, basically showing them all the things that we want them to see. If you have any ideas, certainly feel free to email or call me, or just come to my office and we can have a chat and we can get all this stuff down on paper so that we can give them a comprehensive look as we can of our city.
That July 13th is the date of our next meeting, by the way. I don't know whether they want to come to the meeting or not, but
They might.
that's a possibility.
They might. That's all I have.
Any questions for Ron?
I want to just offer, if your workers, when they start in the spring, I would be happy to do a little workshop on tree care around, with mowing equipment. It's a really good making that first impression when they start to not hit trees, because
Right.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
And then it's, sometimes when it's somebody like me, it's not you coming down on them. It's, I don't know.
We talked before about follow-up, with businesses who have a plan for planting trees to fulfill their obligation in terms of the ordinance 37. And the first one that we tried, I don't know whether you've heard back from them or not, is at the corner of Charles and State Street, the apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk to them about their plan not being followed?
I have not
Huh?
talked to them about it yet. I have not. I've
I
not had
ask
time.
this every month, and it's been like 6 months now.
I have not
So
had time.
sooner or later, I hope that somebody will
I will
say
get your
yes.
I will get your question answered at some
Huh?
point. Yes.
Would it be code enforcement, though, that?
What is it? It's like a half
We
a
need-
block up from
Yeah, we-
State Street.
Yeah.
It's 5 Charles Street, and we need to identify the trees, which we believe to be small trees, and they should be large shade trees.
They're red buds, and we waited to make sure, because at first we couldn't tell because they had leaves. And when they leaved out, that were obviously red buds. And they were supposed to be shade trees.
Mm-hmm.
So. They're cute.
Yeah, and obviously what we'd like them to do is leave the red buds there, but interplant with the large shade trees, because the
Sure.
red buds will be better off under the large shade trees.
Yeah. They're edge of the woods.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions for Rob?
Yes, I have a question on Old Peach Ridge. There's been a lot of earth moving, trees removed, and I was looking to see if they had removed the trees that were probably in the right-of-way. But I couldn't really tell. Well, the time I saw what was going on, a number of trees had been taken out. Did they get permission to take out trees in the right-of-way there? Do you have any idea?
Well, yeah, they're running a sewer line through there because that property has been subdivided into 3 lots, and those are going to be developed. So they didn't have sewer access, so we had to get sewer ran through there. So now that there is, those 3 properties are going to be developed with homes.
But presumably without basements, because the sewer line was pretty close to.
From what I understand, at least one of the houses is going to be very unique.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Are the people that buy the lot, like, do they have to replace the trees because it's, they were cut down for them? Or how does that
No.
work in Athens? Okay.
they would So they'll have a site plan, they'll have their development that they're gonna do, they draw out their site plan, and it's approved by code, it's a single-family home, you know, so
Okay.
there's different regulations on that than there is a Title 41 project.
And it looks like for the length of those 3 lots, only one section had trees removed in the right-of-way. There were trees left in the right-of-way on the
Right,
other
right,
portion.
yeah, so far.
They left a few large dead ash that were right on the edge of the area. They were,
They might have to go away,
Oh,
might be right-of-way trees. I'll have to look up.
they're up the hill a little bit,
Are
maybe
they?
30 feet from the road, so.
In Marietta, if a tree like that is removed, the tree commission calculates the value of that tree using the ISA, evaluation formula, and then that developer or the person that's gonna benefit from the lot then pays the value of that so that new trees can be put back. It's something for the future, but it works well for them. Sorry.
Tree bank.
Any other questions? If not, and if there's no other matters arising, we've got minutes from the last meeting, which I apologise I didn't send out last night as I usually do. This was our meeting at which we approved the Menards plan, and then we had a series of other things that were on there, including Nancy's question about 5 Charles Street. And I will add it to the minutes of this meeting as well.
I see that in there. I motion to approve.
Thank you, David.
I second.
Thank you, Emily. Are there any objections to approving the minutes of the last meeting? Hearing none, we have minutes of the last meeting. Our next meeting, as I noted earlier, will be July 13th in the council chamber at 7 p.m. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.